This will now broadcast that AIS information. So I decided that if I give him $1,700, I have to answer a couple questions. Good morning. It's a blustery, February day. A few things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out specifications for the standing rigging, and the holdup really are the chain plates, because I don't want to drill them out and I don't want to get in there to replace them or change them out. The Cape Dory 25D has really good chain plates to begin with, but I do want to renew the standing rigging. So I'm measuring that and hoping I'm going to find something that works. And also my lifelines here are older, but in addition to that, I'm gonna open up this area right here between this stanchion and back there at the push pit, and put a railing in here, a hard tube railing, so that I can mount a solar panel. And I'll do the same thing on the other side, across here from that stanchion back here. And I also took some pictures of the transom area here. I'm going to remove that swim ladder from the back, and I'm going to install a self-steering wind vane back here. And I wanted to get a quote from Vane. They're very robust units, but they cost quite a bit. I don't know if I'm going to go with Vane or not, but I figured I'd get a quote. And to get a quote, they want a picture of your transom area so they know what they're working with there. Things have greened up since I've been gone. I really need to get out here and take care of some of that cleanup, and I really need to do some woodwork, some bright work here, which is a mess. But coming back inside, looking aft there, I am still working on this, getting my depth information and AIS details to a tablet. In case I haven't mentioned it already, this is a twin yacker from a company called Yak Bits down in Australia. Forgive the electrical tape over there. I want to keep it closed there. But I've got it hooked up. It'll be hooked up to power. There's a ground and a 12-volt power. And this right here is coming out of the back of my standard Horizon radio. And I know I went through all this before. I have not been able to get it to work, and I'm really wanting it to work. I talked to, or I sent emails to the, oh boy, forgive me, I believe his name is Peter. I don't have it in front of me, who manufactures this twin yacker. And, oh, I know. Let's turn on the Navcom. In fact, while we're here, let's see what the battery's doing. Yeah, the battery's good. Both batteries. Yeah, actually, maybe a little bit too good. Okay, Navcom's on. Let's turn my radio on, and we'll make sure that the volume is down. Yeah, the volume is down. So what's going on here is this wire, as I was saying, is coming out from the back of my standard Horizon radio, which is designed to pick up AIS information. And that information is going to come up here pretty soon once it populates. And then what it does is it will transmit that information via these wires, which I've got plugged in now to the yacker. And from the yacker, it's got a Wi-Fi chip in it. And there are other devices like this. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I just happened to buy this one more than a year ago now and haven't get out to work. But this will now broadcast that AIS information and information from things like your depth sounder to something like a tablet. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if I can get a better shot, but you got some AIS targets listed on here. When I plug this in, this should transmit it via Wi-Fi, and then when I turn this on, Navionics should pick it up. Okay, so the yacker is on, and you see the green light flashing. The red means it's got power, and the green flashing means it's receiving data. This is from the radio. And I should point out that this is all NMEA 0183 data that's being transmitted from here to here. This is designed to pick up that data and transmit it via Wi-Fi. So on my tablet here, I'm gonna go into settings, and the Wi-Fi is already hooked up to Twin Yacker. Okay, there's no internet connection there, but that's okay. That's all I want. And so if I get out of there and I go, now this didn't work for me before, so we're gonna try this, but I just reinstalled the boating app, and we should have eventually boats. But I don't see that we do. If I go in here, I am connected without internet. The manufacturer of the Yacker told me I shouldn't have to do anything more. What I'm told is to go into the menu. I'm told this by the documentation. Go into paired devices, open Wi-Fi settings. Twin Yacker is right there. That's what's supposed to happen. I got it. Done. Waiting for connection. And I've been through this before. Unless something has changed, nothing's gonna happen here. That's it. It just doesn't do anything. So if I go back, if I open up a browser window, where the fuck do I go to the browser window? Here, and I go over this way, I am in, so we are getting, this is the GPS data from the Yacker. We're getting it. It's coming to this device via Wi-Fi. GPRMC. All right, well, maybe that's the issue. Maybe this is just, this might just be location data. In which case I have to, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, so maybe whatever reason, I thought I manipulated the radio already to deliver to me or broadcast via these things information regarding AIS details. But maybe I haven't. Maybe I didn't get it right. Let me look at that. Okay, well, that still isn't working with the Twin Yacker, and maybe it's because I'm not getting that data. I swear I set up the radio to deliver that, but now I can't find any settings for NMEA 0183 in the settings of the radio at all. So I'm out of time here. I'm actually not here in the area for the boat. I'm here for another function, but I'll be back in a few weeks to try that again. Hey, good morning. As someone who wants to sail solo long distance offshore, I really need a self-steering wind vane for the back of my boat. So I bought one. Let's go pick it up. Okay, here's what I got now that I'm back home. I just had a closer look at it. The price was right for just about any condition. Well, maybe not any, but it looks like it's really in good shape. Here are the things I noticed. Everything seems to be here and present, except with the exception of the U-clamps, which attach to the back of the hull. Good thing, it has an extra, what I believe to be a brake tube. I forget what they call it exactly, but it's the same as this one here, right here. It fits inside there and inside here, and it's supposed to be a weak point so that if the paddle here in the water sustains some collision, it will break this and it won't break this or the rest of the wind vane. So I've got an extra one of those. These blocks right here, these turning blocks, there are two of them. there are actually 6 of them total, but the 2 right here seem to be replacements, I believe, and they're pretty crunchy. Probably can go ahead and replace those, the 2 of them there. There are some others over here. They're not great, but I think, well, I'll look more into that, because this one seems a little... Okay, but that's pretty minor, I would say. The gearing up here all looks okay. The chain looks okay. Everything moves and turns the way it should. I can't because it's on the ground right now. I've only got one hand. The air vanes, the wind vanes, are in good shape for the most part. You can see that the tape is coming off on this one. On this one, the sticker's coming off. I'm not too terribly worried about that. I'll get some more red tape to take care of this. I'm not sure what it matters, but this one's a little out of flat. I suspect if I just lay it flat or try to reduce that, I can do that over time. Not a big deal. That one's the heavy wind blade is in pretty good shape. A little more concerning, I think, when someone installed this originally, you got to drill these holes out. They've got small pilot holes, but for this 5/16 inch bolt, you've got to drill it out further in the position you want. But they goofed up initially, and so you know, there's a possibility that this bolt now is kind of wobbling around. Same thing, this side is just a little oversized for the bolt. I'm not sure if you can see that in the sun, but so that's a little bit of a concern. I think that JB Weld may be able to take care of that. It works on 316 stainless, which is what this is. Actually, I realized that I'm messing up. These are the ones that go into the U-bolts against the hull, or the U-clamps, or I don't know what they call them. U-clamp, I guess. And anyways, they don't seem to have done a proper job there. But just on this one looks okay. And frankly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be using these in particular, because this is going on a different boat. And the last thing, and potentially the most concerning, is the water vane, or the water paddle. And sorry, let me adjust this here. At the top here, you can see that there is some corrosion that's eaten through the stainless. This is at the bottom here. I've got it just inverted. And so that kind of continues on the side right up here. A little bit of corrosion right through the metal. And let's see, a little bit more corrosion. I'll just put this down. A little bit more corrosion at the weld joints, the spot welds. This one's the worst right here. It's actually a bit of a hole, and they've all got a little bit of a rust. And I don't think that's terrible. I really don't, but it's something to consider. And then the top here, I don't know if it's separated. I don't know how well, it seems to be a wood core, and I don't know how well the wood is protected. But it's certainly the sheet metal is separating up here, and there's a gap on both sides. And so I wonder if that should be filled or protected. However, from the factory, they do drill this hole, and that exposes salt water directly into this rudder here. So there's that. I think it all can be mitigated. There's no water in that now. It's been sitting out of the water for years, so I'm glad about that. And overall, for the price I paid for it, even with a weekend full of driving, I drove 14 hours total to go get this thing, and with an overnight stay in a hotel room, it was a good deal. So that was my journey to get this wind vane. I will research its installation a little bit more to install it. I think it's going to have to be modified just a little bit anyways to fit on my Cape Dory. I think I said it was on a Cal 29. I think that's what it was, Cal 29. that it came off of. For better or worse, the transoms are both similar. I imagine the 29-footer is going to be a bigger transom than my 25-footer, but there is hope that it'll fit without too much difficulty. And honestly, again, because this was going to be such a monumental investment for a self-steering wind vane, even used, they don't go cheap. I took a chance in this particular case. It worked out for me. I'm so pleased. Basically, what happened, just for a quick story, I found this on eBay. It was clearly a good option, but the pictures weren't terrific, and the description was almost nothing. All it said was a used Monitor Wind Vane self-steering. That was it. And so I wrote the seller and had a list of questions, not too many, but a few, and got no response. So I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, it was still for sale. So I wrote him again with a single question. Got no response. So I was concerned, but I really wanted this if it was any good. The pictures, frankly, indicated that it was in good shape, especially compared to some other ones that I'd seen online that had a lot more corrosion and wear on them. So I decided that if I gave him $1,700, that's what he asked for, he'd have to answer a couple questions. At that point, I didn't really have any. I figured that if he was gonna rip me off, he can't. eBay has a return policy, so if I didn't get the goods for whatever reason, he'd have to give me my money back. And frankly, if this device doesn't fit, I can turn it around and sell it for just as much as I bought it for. So it really was a no-lose situation, I felt. And now that I have it, I'm really pleased. It's good to have this, and now I can focus on some other purchases I need to make for the boat. A new head sail, for example, and new standing rigging. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we'll be back with more soon.